The buzz. You know we go. What are you gonna do here?
What we gonna do right here is back, way back into time.
Sky, are you? All the respect them I sound for. Like a flag, hear me now. Some bounty, dig it way.
Entertainment buzz are the real thing, man. Sight.
And now, our feature presentation.
All right, we want to say a very special welcome to the E-Buzz. I'm DJ Bones.
And I'm Kishima Francis. Want to say big up to the peeps who are watching us on the internet at irfm.net. And for those of you who are simply listening to us on the 107s, just clock in.
We'd like to say a very special welcome to our friends on social media. We like to do this thing very upscale. So we want you to follow us on Twitter at IRI_FM, Instagram, IRIFMJA, or like IRIFMJA on Facebook. We are an absolutely wonderful brand that you need to get involved with.
Absolutely.
Now, of course.
Get with it.
We want to talk tonight about being lewd, rude, and crude.
Yes, that's our topic. That's our discussion.
Oh my God.
Dancehall versus soca, the slackness bias.
Yeah, not too much slackness are going on in this place anyway,
Yeah, lots of slackness.
But I know this is not particular. Well, to me, it was entertainment because it is something that I've watched over a year. But my goodness, Trump winning the election, I can't get over that.
I know. I mean,
this, as they said, it is the largest political upset in American history.
ever.
They've created a path for this gentleman and saying that, you know what, he'll never get there. If he loses Florida, it's done for him. He'll win Florida and win everything else.
I know. And I mean,
Wow.
it was extremely close. I know, like a lot of it was really nail biting, I suppose, for a lot of Americans who were just sitting and watching to say, you know, what will happen, who will win this state.
You know, I think what it is, I watched it. And I really watched it.
I did.
And I tell you the truth, I don't think it was as close as people think. I mean, there were states where Hillary was below 100,000 votes, 70,000, 80,000 votes. That's not the closest. And then a lot of them now were late in coming in. So that was another thing that made everybody have such a long wait. But it was nerve-wracking. And then, you know what happened? It was prophesied, saying we're going to win still.
Did you see that, like, person said that The Simpsons actually carried an episode where they made Donald Trump, a Donald Trump character who was president in that cartoon?
He probably said, "You're losers." No, but I didn't see that. But
do you foresee that his first day in office, he would go around with regular Trump style, "You're fired"?
It would be absolutely stupid to do that. And I don't think he's that stupid. I think that he did all that rhetoric on a campaign trail, which is very bad rhetoric, as a matter of fact. But I don't think he'd be that stupid to really go into the Oval Office with that same mentality. I just think it would be suicidal. Look, as much as they put him in there now, they will take him out very fast. Either when the electoral time is up or they will finish him other ways. Remember, assassination happens too, so he have to behave himself.
Oh, wow. But let's just really see what happens with that. What do you think, like a lot of Americans are feeling? Like, even when you woke up this morning and you looked through social media and you saw some of the comments and that sort of things.
I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a lot of people being disappointed. One of the weirdest things is that for the Trump supporters or the people who supported Trump, I didn't see a lot of them on Facebook going, "Yay, he won." I really just saw a more disgruntled set of people saying, "I can't believe this is happening." A lot of Jamaicans or Jamaican Americans are there saying, "I'm disappointed in my country at this time," or, especially the Floridians. I saw a lot of posts from Floridians saying, "What happened? How that happened?"
Well, we should get, of course, Curly Locks in on what we're talking about. Curly, welcome.
Bless every day, man. You see me?
I'm glad Curly is here, because when Curly is here, it makes my job a lot easier. Hey, you see?
Curly, your immediate reaction to Donald Trump's victory?
Sleep. Okay?
Sleepless sleep.
You watch it right through, not true?
Yeah, I'm watching it right through.
I watched it. I'm trying to sleep for 10 minutes, not lie. But other than that, I watched it right through. And when I watched, when you looked at the progression of the election, in terms of what, let us talk about a precursor leading up to the election then, and how people thought it would go. All the critics and all the specialists and analysts and so on, and they thought it would go a particular way. And I know you watch that too, because you're one of those people who watch a lot of things. And then you see it come to this result. What are your thoughts? Do you think?
Well, the first thing we have to realize and understand, the perspective of the people who, the media, are totally different from what the reality is. First thing, the polls not really real. All right. We don't think them knock on every door and say, okay, tell me what this and write down with them. Not have the time. So them go link 100 people and say, all right, 20% of them say for this and rate. What them think? They more really get what the real opinion out there is.
It's ridiculous.
It don't make no sense.
3,000 people are who they polled. And every minute they poll
how much people in America? How much people in America?
Hundreds of millions.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Hopefully, they will learn from this to say that you would have to have a wider pot when you're doing your sampling, and be unbiased with it as well.
Curly, were you surprised at the result?
Yeah and no, because a part of me want to believe in a humanity.
Okay.
And that is always good. I want to believe in a humanity. I want to believe say people have sense. And
I believe so too.
You know me I say, but at the end of the day, it's a plutocracy. The whole entire world government. Me and you know that. You understand?
I am not the brightest guy. What is a plutocracy?
When the world run by the rich, it's all about money.
Oh.
The elite is governing everything, controlling everything, making people poor in order to gain them wealth and sustain them wealth. The whole entire world of that. And them deliberately, psychologically manipulate people for just remain a certain way with them thought processes, be insecure. I want to tell you, 98% of the world insecure. That's why them worship the rich.
Right.
Because of what them think riches really is. So when them see one big dumb fool named Donald Trump, and him have billionaire and him have jet and him have one bag of thing, what you think? That's it, them no want nothing more. The dog have him things. What you feel like? You can't ask them 3/4 of them why them vote. Them don't know.
Yes.
No.
And it doesn't
Them
matter how many cats he intend to grab.
Them don't know nothing about nothing. Them just know say, all right, cool. Imagery.
What do you think about the FBI director's whole scenario of emails? They presented an email, they did an investigation. After they did the investigation, they said that she was reckless and careless. But
Me not watch that too.
Right. No, what do you think about the timing close to the actual
Comey's,
election? And then
resurface.
Two things mash up Hillary.
Tell me.
Mash up Hillary.
That I think that is one.
One, the democratic aspect of it with Obama. Remember, under Sykes, and can't talk, and can't say certain things and have to be politically correct.
Yeah.
America is where you see manifest now,
I agree with
long time. Them have all of these thought processes. Them don't like black people, they don't like no Indian, they don't like nobody.
Right.
Them just have all type of hatred and one bag of foolishness just harbor up and mix up in a one big bag somewhere there. And them just stay so and them just say, okay, this is the perfect person. This is the perfect person. Let me tell you what happened to Hillary. Obama 2-term happened to Hillary. Being female happened to Hillary.
I agree with that.
You understand me? I said to you?
Yes.
I'm whole heap of things. And not just, okay, cool. I remember, we as Jamaican too, we used to that over the centuries of Jamaica. We used to having to choose the lesser of two evils. And not new to it.
Right.
And not at all when new to it. And that happened to this election, but there was just too much going against Hillary in the realistic sense of the word. When you look upon what Americans and what build a society they really and truly is, and the thought process where them have, the ideologies where them hold on to, the belief system where them have, no matter how we politically correct, them thoughts they did it a long time.
When you hear people say that, I've heard analysts say that America took back their country. And when they say that, we know that America is a country of immigrants. You have big companies and maybe 10 or 12 members of staff are natural Americans, meaning them born there and they're white.
Yeah.
The rest of them, Latino, Haitian, Trinidadian, Jamaican.
Yeah.
They're naturalized, but they're not born there.
No.
And do you think that this is a point that they were trying to put across? Because when you hear Donald Trump or others would say, we're going to take back America.
Or make America great again.
Make it great again. Like, they made it sound like they lost it. Like they're going to find it.
Listen, them lose it to values. Them lose it to have to pander to other people's feelings. Them lose it to have to think about the feeling of that person, that group, and have to really think and slow down about certain agenda.
Right.
Them lose it to have to appeal to the women's right activism.
Yes.
Yeah, them lose it to so much things. Make America great again really mean
Nothing.
like make America hate again.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly
No,
what
Make we be like the person that we
Free
kill
up
out the
again.
Indian them and make we just bad and just kill some people and do some things and respond to people. And just white paper place and it done.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw them a deal with it.
Look at the
Once
rallies.
we could go on and on
Yeah,
on
forget-
this topic.
forget.
We do have a discussion of our own and other things
we
to delve
really
into.
should have made this the topic. But
No, we have our own business. Dancehall is our business tonight.
versus soca.
Versus soca. We'll look at it. We'll look at the slackness bias. Is there one? We'll delve into it a little bit. But before that, of course, we have to talk with Curly. Tell us about your book. I mean, that is out.
Well, the book is out and doing well, you know, in the market, well, you know, the book market.
Yeah.
How do I get the book?
You know, can log on to Amazon. You know,
What's the
that's
title?
the worldwide. It's called The Road to Zion.
Yes,
You know what I
I know
mean?
it, right.
Even though it encapsulates or chronicles my journey from birth to where I am now, it is not really about just me. You know what I mean? Because I believe say, you know, everybody can relate. You know what I mean? Different people, same stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Different, you know, same storyline.
Right.
You know what I mean? But this book is about, you know, you.
Your
This book is
personal.
about you and your struggle. You know what I mean? Pick it up and put them down. That's it.
What inspired you writing the book?
There was a lot of things that is misunderstood.
Okay.
You know, about a lot of things that I observe coming up in my life and in other people's life. There's a lot of misconceptions about how to deal with certain things, namely conflict, namely having to relate to people, having to share the space with people, having to have a, you know what I mean, have a compromise, so to speak. It's the power of forgiveness. But really inspired me to write this book, what I've been through and what me use forgiveness to achieve. That is where this is for me personally. This is what inspired me because, you know, based on the decisions them when me make and how me come out of it, I not gonna keep such a things to myself.
Right.
You know what I
A
mean?
story to tell.
Yes, me have a story to tell.
No, you said that we can get it in the bookstores. Is
Yes.
it available online? Like
It is
online
available.
platforms?
Amazon. Amazon would be the most wide one, and then you have, you know, Sangsters, you have the Kingston Bookshop, you know what I mean, you have the airport, you have York Pharmacy. You know, but the Amazon, you know, that's the worldwide platform.
Best one.
You know, Curly, when I think about your work and what you have done, your book, I mean, your Stir It Up series, the movie that of course, including your brother that you have done. Do you believe that music is the ultimate for you, or you want to surpass that? You want to delve into other things. You want to do greater things because undoubtedly you have the potential.
Yeah, I mean, for me as a creative, personally, one of the biggest challenges, you know what I mean, when you establish as something, you know how some one-track mind people stay and just put you in a specific box.
Yeah.
I just feel me is such a multifaceted creative that, you know, multifaceted rather, creative that there is so much things that I have done and can do. When me just say, all right now I reach a level in my life, me I do me. Because right now me I do a nice reggae album, you know.
A
When
solo
it
project?
is written,
or
it is not a solo project.
Okay.
But for the first now, me I go say, okay, cool. Me do them set a song, yeah. We do a combination same way, but it's a we album. Same way.
Okay.
Right.
It have a combination with my brother, it have maybe a solo with my brother, it have something with me alone do. But that's
Right.
enough twins because we are work together same way.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know what it
Okay.
is? When you talk about multifaceted,
Yeah.
well, you obviously are. You wrote a book.
You see?
That's one facet.
Yeah, me actually write it. Me
You
never go
write
link,
the
yeah,
book.
me never link one lie and sign one something with him
Right.
right.
Yeah.
I may do it myself personally.
Right.
Yeah.
You've done movies.
Yes.
Right? That's
Yeah.
another facet.
Good.
Right, that's all.
Yeah.
I am getting the feeling that there are way more facets coming.
Yeah, man, whole heap more.
I'm actually scared.
we'll eat more.
Because I'm actually scared. Because
You
I
see?
get the feeling that you're going to either start tap dancing or you're going to do a stand-up comedy.
Well, a whole heap of something I come, and as well, we...
Give us an idea of some of the things.
Well,
that
we've been,
maybe
you know, here
come
what
up.
happened now. A part of what? A mistake what we normally make, because here what happened now.
Yeah.
My creative process have been plagiarized so much without credit.
Right.
So much. I know you complain about that right around the clock. So it's like me really and truly find the need of say, you know what? I might be a slight clue, but you see, going into the whole details and whatever, a lot of people from them hear that interview here, them start now with the plagiarism in the night.
They probably are listening with book and paper.
So it's like me not really want to get into the details of a lot of things.
I agree that.
Just know, so with Twin of Twins, whole heap of wicked sitting a come. Volume 11, me nearly must not do it. I'll be honest.
Why?
A 3 year now, and I get one. Volume 10 of the wickedest thing. And it's like, you know, sometimes you go through the motion the way it's like, you know, that unappreciated.
Yeah. And just
type of
being
thing, and
tired
it's like,
of your intellectual property being stolen.
And it's like nobody cares.
Right.
And then if you don't care, who are going to care? So I mean, I go through the conflict if you say, you know, what it worked. But at the end of the day, I always meet people who I consider as like, you know, like, oh, you know, I signed this. You know, because Almighty always say, if you find one righteous to spare the city, and me always find that one person, the other two person, they will say, me I go, please do this for that. Remember last time Volume 10 come out, one little old lady about 74 tell me everything I do from Volume 1 come straight up.
Yes.
You understand? I say, it have to continue, don't do this because it's very vital to the culture. Remember, so when we start this, you know, that's the first thing.
Right.
Everybody know all of a sudden we see attack things. Remember when we attack things, we are the biggest troublemaker around here, you know. We bring that kind of platform here, you know.
Yes, that is
A
true.
million Twin of Twins they have now all over the internet. I try to do a bugger thing without credit. But me love them and make them do them thing. Me happy for them.
Right.
All right, me like see them I try them thing. You understand?
Right.
But when we start that something here, and I do that something here, and a wicked something reach it and still a reach it. By the way, a whole heap of burden we have to carry, but the interview is not about that. Different something.
Well, this section is about you and what you're doing.
Nice.
So, yeah.
But you know, the intellectual property, you put out so much great stuff.
See.
And you do it for the love.
Yeah.
But you need to get your credit.
Yeah.
You need to get what is deserved to you.
Yeah.
You know, there are ways to protect yourself.
I mean, you embark on a way there, and you know, Jamaica,
Maybe
not the wait for there.
Yeah, well, there is a challenge.
Not the wait for there, just wicked.
Yeah.
And then no matter where them say them set up for do something one, there's something there, so for black, that's something there. Yes, sir. Are the wickedest place. Don't like if I hear them say if you can drive at Jamaica, you can drive anywhere.
Well, that is true.
Eh? Are the same way you rap on
And you have
another
other people who just drive you crazy.
Good.
Yes, I have that.
All right. Tell me a little more about this reggae album that you're working on. What sort of, how will it showcase Twin of Twins?
Well, I mean, people been know say the conviction for Twin of Twins real.
Yeah.
We represent who we are right around the clock. Cause music which I love everything get fake, you know. It's all about branding and you make it look and you wear black and to seem like you're mourning for the guy that died and next one. Me not dead.
Yeah.
You understand me? I say everybody fake now. We always real. That's why we do without certain things because it come from a real place. It come from a real place. We have to bring the realness, the authentic, because there is no way for mass produce the spirit. It has to be real for me personally. If it not come from a real place, me rather not do it none at all. You notice how Twin of Twins stay? Me not run down the thing and like every week, every 2 days, me have a voice and me compete. Me not have no competition. I just on my head there. Me are the best. Me are the best in what I do.
I agree with that.
do.
And on top of that,
You understand?
you've created a niche also.
Good. Well, only for people that follow and again.
They can't follow either.
You understand?
It's
Well,
not
them
easy
try.
to follow.
Yeah.
Them
Yeah.
try.
I mean, I could follow, but I don't want you to.
You know, this whole, you know what I mean? This whole, this vibe, as I say, it come from a spiritual place to me. You know what I mean? It's just like when Buju said destiny. I want to rule my destiny. Everybody say, dog, you're going to flap. And this now got so one good dog. The people them done used to dance all already. Rose in my garden, sweet little flower. It a go on, dog. Nobody do that. So. And the boss say, I have to be myself. Destiny, mama, look from when you call it. And that in my feel.
Right.
So something similar to that for me. There is more to me than what you want me to do.
Yeah.
And currently, that is such a crucial point because that is what is lacking, which you have identified, where not a lot of persons come from this true place, and it comes out in the music.
It fake.
Because
That's why
people they don't have that authentic and real connection where your spirit and you're giving it your all. And when we hear a track bleeding from the speakers, you feel at one with it because you can feel the emotion.
Most people have given themselves over to the financial desire over what they are about, over what they are supposed to represent. Come hear them say, reggae revival. Reggae not revive. If the conviction that made reggae great isn't revived with it. You can sing reggae and look like reggae, but if you're not representing the cause that reggae represents, then you are not. You just sing some tune.
Right.
How much of them you see with big tattoo after the fact, after locks, big tattoo in a back ton, liquor win? Me no want to start calling name around here. Me I tell you.
Yeah.
It now come from a real place again, and then some people say, Jano Star, what happened to the music? It lose its conviction. It lose what it lose what
it boils down to the individual.
The individual, and now it become a thing now where you have the intervention of the branding, and they come and they say, okay, we're signing you, so here's the deal. You have to do this and you have to do that, and you can't say this and you can't say that, and the contract stipulates that this and that and re and that and that and that, and by the time them lose themselves in the whole translation,
a puppet.
Everything become like just fake.
And with all those restrictions they're giving you, they not pay what you want.
And then at the end of the day, no matter how much million they make you say, if your spirit not right, I'm sorry for you. Just that trick them, most of them don't know nothing.
But Curly, the position that you have taken is an unpopular position. And it's a tough and a rough position, because you will have a lot of hard and heavy times, and you will have to dig deep and find that within yourself, not to be discouraged, not to be deterred from the initial cause and why you're doing it. How do you actually create that balance and know that you're, irrespective of what you're facing, what you're going through, you're going to stay true?
All right, let me tell you, personally, for me, I'm going to tell everybody this. There's two vices within every individual, two forces. It just depends on which one you listen to. The one will tell you if you do the right thing, it's always a little bit harder. Because its domain is not in the physical realm, it's not here. The right vice that tell you if you do the right thing. The one will look easy, will tell you chase the money and run down this and be smart and try to do this already. You're going to end up crash. You're going to end up drain. But the one will require some kind of a discipline, will make you understand, say, this place, righteousness in this place are the hell, And this is the hell will qualify you for the higher place, the spiritually. This are the gym, just like you got gym to get your abs. And you run and you want a nice body. This is the gym will prepare your spirit for qualify for the next realm. So this is how me prepare. Like for example, you just know that is how that person is. I know that this is how this place is. It disappoints enough time and you get down. But you, at the end of the day, you understand. You get it. And you employ a thing when you forgiveness. You know why Christ did say, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. It's just like you have a 2-year-old and him draw down some sugar and bust the flour in the cupboard. Will you kill him? You're not going to kill him, so in 2 years, just clean up the floor and call it a DM, not depend the level where you depend to understand. So, regardless, me have a lot of 2 years. The world coming like a big daycare, 90% of people insecure and live a certain type of life. And when you have a certain spirit, boy, they will come at you. And if you expect it, deal with it.
Curly Locks, if you're just listening to us,
I'm going
He's
home.
live inside the
I'm
studio.
going home. I'm
motivated.
Thank you. Have a nice
This
evening.
is a level. This is some heights. And
yes.
I'm really happy that Curly Locks is here. And every time we invite you differently, now I can see the growth from the last time you were here to now. There is definitely a different.
But you look the same height.
Well, you're not on the level, It's a height.
I understand. I see him height, man. I understand. That's straight.
But I guess some people confuse growing with aging, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That I think. Some people 14 and you see them 50 odd in a age, you think say them 50 odd. But if your mind no move past 14, you're 14.
Really
Curly,
great.
I don't know what persona you feel like this evening. There's quite a multiplicity of them. Yeah. We're going to a break.
Yeah.
I don't know who is here tonight. Maybe all of you are here. But one of you, who you just introduce the break
One,
to us.
I think you should have a few of them.
Maybe we should have a montage.
I believe so.
Yes.
Well, this vice here, I them know this vice. I know say Irie is my favorite place.
Yes,
What I tell you, Rasta?
No,
We are all a break. That's what them say.
Hold on, in around there. Muta around there, no?
Him round there.
Muta, you want to come introduce?
That's how you go, that's how you go.
Come introduce a break.
Yes, sir. We are going to a break.
Yeah, hold on there.
Stay tuned.
Hold on. Hold on. Where Muta there? Where Muta there? Click something there. Click it.
Let me ask you something. You can't see electricity like how you see me, but no, you have light. Absence of evidence isn't necessarily evidence of absence. You say you believe in a life continual. No God, just nature. Alright. In one of your songs, them you say, you must gael, etc. From the beginning of creation, even if it's a myth. Everybody knows that you can't have hell without heaven.
Thursday afternoon from 12:15 to 1:15 on Easy Skanking. We heights up heart, mind, and soul to soul.
Then testosterone element. Show the wicked nation. Lightning.
Everybody feel irate when they listen to irate. Everybody love irate. Hey, Angela, when you see some man get bumped, don't laugh. It's not the first, and it's not going to be the last. You know you have to call him up on female girlfriend. She make him hype till him dissident down a grand step. No, she have a man and wear all him underpants then. You see? But again, it no matter how you ugly for the money you spend. When foot I get the bakery, me sorry for my friend. Till him all start see alien and walk among them. You see? But again, as a man rise, nobody can control him. First thing him change are the friends that we roll him. Next thing him want is a bimmer and a brownie. Change every link, mama can't even phone him. Hey, your sister made it right. If your life no private, you get the lime out of the light. You would think she not the type to carry a man in your bed in the middle of the night. Oh, you see? But again, remember when Gulliver walk and a hype. Same love Shana China, everything tight. Oh, everything perfect and I him alone she like. Till she lick him with a padlock and pull him up a bite.
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. Welcome back to those of you who are just
back.
joining us. You're inside the E-Buzz. Promises to be a fantastic discussion tonight. Lewd, rude, and crude. Dancehall versus soca, the slackness bias. In studio,
Yes.
we have Curly Locks. You know, we have Patrick Gaynor, a.k.a. Curly Locks, one of the talented duo of Twin of Twins, songwriter, social activist, and author of The Road to Zion.
Yes, history. Give thanks for the introduction.
And, you know, we didn't add poet to that. You know, we understand that you're working on a few pieces.
Yeah, me right.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, you don't know my mother's son is out there. That you know what I mean. That was received very well. You know what I mean. The part with Mama Africa with Peter Tashpan, it that's something. You know what I mean. Europe wise, it do well.
It's shelling.
You know what I mean. Yeah, I have a few coming too. Same way.
You know, one of the things we're gonna have to do. You have such faceted. I keep saying that. And we have a discussion that we want to talk about, but we have to get into the career with you after the discussion.
Cool.
And it's lewd, rude, and crude. The dancehall versus soca.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and we're going to talk about the slackness bias of it. Problem we're having, I believe.
Yeah.
I've seen dancehall events being kept.
Yeah.
It's lewd, and it's rude, and it can be crude, right?
Yeah.
But it seems to me that depending on how bad it is, it shut down fast. I mean, really fast. Them running. Sometimes there are certain things that are there that are bad, not so bad. Then, of course, the same event, but it's a soca event, right? It probably keeping at a bright morning, because soca events keep at the weirdest time, and most dancehall things keep at night. The soca ones keep early morning, as early as 10 in the morning. Some of them keep all breakfast, they call them breakfast parties. They start as early as 3 a.m. and they go till 11 a.m.
And there are others that require you blocking streets, lanes, main roads.
And
thoroughfares.
Yes. I didn't even remember that one. Yes. And it seems that those events seem to not be disturbed in any way. And we're talking not only just the actual event in terms of being closed down, but we talk about the lewdness and the crudeness in terms of the dancing, the sexual connotations that are presenting in both events. But one set seemed to be sort of Boy, that rough, lock that off.
And would we get a different perspective if we speak with someone from within soca and calypso? Would we find that they face similar scrutiny from other individuals? We have joining us via telephone. We have, of course, Trinidadian soca entertainer Bunji Garlin. Bunji, welcome to the buzz.
Bunji Garlin, welcome, boy.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings, everybody.
Blessed.
We're very happy to have you, Bunji. Long time we don't hear from you. Eh?
All right, so we're gonna jump right into the discussion. I think a really safe place to start is to perhaps get a definition of slackness from both Curly and, of course, Bunji. When you think about slackness, what would be your definition?
Well, I think slackness, in the word slackness itself, is its own definition. I don't think there's a top of first tier, second tier, third tier. Slackness is slackness. Any angle you put it.
All right. Munchie, I agree with that.
Lewd,
crude, and rude. I think is what I would love us to probably break down. Because, I mean, slackness is in itself. What are your thoughts there?
As I say, where one person see as, ethnocentricity will cause conflict right around. That is where somebody see life through for them eye and where them understand and where them deem acceptable. Where you are going to lick out pan or say it's the worst, lewd, crude, whatever the case may be, or what you call rude, to the next individual, the other culture there. That is normal. It is normal. Repetition creates hyper.
That's true.
Normalization,
yeah.
for want of better words. Now, here we make our slackness. Dressing up nice and creating this perfect, pristine image of going to church on Sundays and wearing your tie,
yes,
while secretly organizing the downfall of the people where you claim say slack and lewd and crude.
Yeah.
Maybe if soca music did come from Jamaica, was originating at the ghetto culture of Jamaica, society people wouldn't like it so much. It is alien to their culture. They've always liked things that is alien to their culture. A long time society people have this, A long time society people have that white mind frame there, That white something where they get from the slave master them, A long time them have that type of culture there where we can't relate to. So that's why I say the ethnocentricity. Them are going to see the ghetto as the worst. As long as it come from the ghetto, it not good. Remember when Shabba kicked down the door, Them never intimidate, them never panic. Dirty ghetto music, look at them smoking weed and dance and fool. And when Shabba turn it in and something, be white people are foreign start and say, oh, this is good, man. Oh my God, what is this?
Right.
Shabba, man. Oh my God, this ugly guy is good.
Yeah. And he's a ranks.
Well, oh my God, man, he's top ranking, man.
Yeah,
you gotta sign this guy.
Yeah.
I so come. Society people turn around and see this. Remember what they used to call it? Dirty. Good. It come from X and it come from Z. Up to now, they don't really like the culture, by the way,
Right.
Anything, because of creative resentment. Remember, 3/4 people now, and this is not everybody, but for those who it apply to them, know themselves, they might not admit it, but this is true. Right? 3/4, all right, uptown people, society people. Remember now, for them got the money and the church at the bank, For them whole life revolve around money, how to keep it and sustain it, You see, when you live that type of lifestyle, you're easily bored, Because your whole entire life, nothing is spontaneous. Nothing is out of the way. Every part of your life is a prop in keeping money. Even your kids, 3/4 them not raise them pitney, When they look then you 19 and say, bro, last time I see a tree and you live in the same place where I live.
Nanny bring you up.
And then nanny raise them,
Yes, exactly.
So you find say a peace, stress and problem in for them life, because nothing, not even intercourse is left out of the plan.
Right.
I'll drop off little Rodrigo at 9. I'll pick up Shonda at 1:30, and I'll insert, and I'll be out of there by, like, let's say, give or take 18 minutes, and we'll make it to the banquet by 3, and we'll pick up Ray at 5, and then wake up the next day and do the whole thing again. Get up, people. This suffering with them.
Yeah.
Hold a little border there and make with us stay so all the time, and we have that little thing about we. Remember now, self-preservation. Say naturally, psychologically, we design as human beings to find a way to survive when the odds against we. When we face the odds there. That is why we're so creative as ghetto people. That is why, and this is a creative resentment now, because them say to themselves, say, if them have this everything, this money and all this thing, and look how they are being worshipped.
Yeah.
And look how this guy just said foolishness and is living next door to me. Mm-hmm. That's a part of the problem too, you know. Because them now go accept that something that as decent, no matter how we say it, how we do it, whatever. Them not gonna do it.
Let's hear from Bunji. What is your experience, Bunji, as it relates to soca? Do you face any sort of bias from society as it relates to soca being lewd, rude, and or crude?
Well, so far listening to what has been said on air, right? And what I've grabbed so far is that there seems to be, I guess, a topic of discussion in terms of the bias between the two cultures, which would be the dancehall culture and the soca culture.
Yes.
Right. From my experience in Trinidad and always traveling to Jamaica, I think the comparison bias, from my observation, only happens in Jamaica, because in Trinidad, the same things happen with soca music here. And this is the place of where it is.
Bunji gone. But you know, I'm getting an impression, as you were telling me, Curly, it's really a real factor of socioeconomics.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in terms of, you know, it's a classist kind of thing. And, you know, and we really need for Bunji to get back on so he can give us his take. Because it is something that I have noticed and I've seen. And in terms of, it is fine for a soca event here. As he said, it's different in Trinidad when he got disconnected.
But make soca, they come from Jamaica originally, and I get to and see how happen.
Exactly.
See if none of them uptown.
And that is not an unfair point either, because if there was an article recently, and we're going to be joined by on the phone lines a little later on by Dr. R. Anthony Lewis, and they were talking about women in dancehall and how they dress, and at the same time we have seen repeatedly where when a Beyonce is wearing her impy skimpy and or a Rihanna or a Nicki Minaj, like that is welcomed. But then if another female do it, then they say you look down on her to say, okay, then hello, what was she thinking? So again,
welcome back, Bunji Garland online. Bunji boy,
you were in the middle of saying in Trinidad is different.
Bunji not there.
Boy, I don't know. Bunji
going to a soca event. Bunji, you going to play some music where you're going there, boy? But, you know, it is, it is true. Look at the fashion is another thing in terms of the social bias or the slackness bias with being lewd, crude, and rude.
Yeah.
Because we see the girls in the dance hall. Oh, my goodness. But then we say, my goodness, boy, them ranch, eh? But then when you go soca, they make them look like them have on a suit and a turban.
Yeah, man. And a long frock.
And a long, let me tell you.
Make you woman in favor ninja and I make glaze.
That is true.
How does that make you feel, Curly, to know that, you are a part of dancehall, you're seeing this, and it is what it is. It's blatant, straight up hypocrisy.
It is. And you don't know the whole of Jamaica and the world, and the diaspora and everybody, just a catch up to we. Because if you don't know the history of Twin of Twins, them thing I always say, long time, them thing I always bring to the game and say, all right, we need to bring like some kind of real thing to the table where we can meet halfway. But the society people may pull the strings. Now want to meet halfway, eradication, totally them they want. Totally eradicate. Them just want to get rid of this thing. I will just remind them so much of like, what is this? It is so not decent. I know themselves 3/4 of them not really decent.
Yeah.
They must give a decent image. An image around everything for them. Image, everything. If it look good, it good.
Yeah.
If it look good, it good. Lie.
What do you say to somebody who is listening to us and they are agreeing with some points, and then you have somebody else saying, but listen to them speak as if there is no slackness within the dancehall space itself?
What me say again, what is slackness? I gotta be up to you. It will be totally up to you. What is slackness? What is good? I gotta be totally up to you. Your perception, your vantage point, who you are, your culture, how you are cultured. What your belief system comes from. I cannot have no control over that. Well, I gotta be good to one man, I gotta be bad to somebody else.
True.
You can't change that in the earth.
But let us look at the two cultures. We're talking dancehall and soca. I mean, the treatment is so different.
Yeah.
And you know, we respect each other's culture. The dancehall culture, the soca's culture, even another culture, certain other cultures so. But why is it just a situation of socioeconomics? Why the treatment is different between both? You think? What do you think?
It is a mixture of a lot of things.
Like?
It is a mixture of, you know, as I said, the classism, the ethnocentricity, you know, the outlook of, you know what happened. Like, it's a mixture of most people will have an opinion. Feel everybody to share the same exact opinion, and if you don't, me force to psychologically wonder what wrong with the person. Yeah, you do not see the logics in a this way. Me I say, you know, in a sense, you're dumb. You're not. You're idiot. But guess what? Everybody's opinion come from a different place based on them culture. So it make up of a lot of things. You understand? And this is the problem. Most of we not learn to like give and take. Realize this and realize, you know what happened? He might have a different opinion where come from. 30 are we in one class.
Right.
30 are we going enough of time with 30 different things or we think the one teacher say, you know. Completely, if you ask the 30 students, what a teacher I just say? A 30 different thing them tell you. It based on who they are and how them, you know, where them thought process come from, which culture and how them assess. So that's it.
Wow. You know, it's just an amazing scenario here with this discussion because, you know, you have so many scenarios coming with this thing in terms of socioeconomics and social facilitation. People are just different in terms of how they were brought up as the norm. Things that are the norm for a lot of people, other people like, they are crazy, them crazy. And it has to stop.
And business ignorance in it too.
All right. I want you to dissect that for me in terms of business ignorance. What does that mean?
Business ignorance meaning, okay, cool. In a business, the first mindset you have to adapt is you cannot have this emotion. I don't like those people. And whatever, and what if something is worth something,
move with it.
You do not bring your personal feelings to the table and say, you know what, the people, let's say the people want sugar. And you're going to put some kind of other ingredient to turn it into something other than sugar, then business are going to decline.
Of course.
And that is where you bring in, because of your personal feelings. You're ignorant to what business really is. And I can say this from both sides.
Right.
Be ignorant to what business can work, you know. Dancehall and reggae could have 10 times greater than what it is now, you know. Other struggle and the conflict, you make it the way it is, you know. Other struggle, the whole back, you make dancehall and reggae the way it there, you know, and lose the conviction where it did have. Coming up business or pretend it is not what it used to be. You understand? Right. So nobody make Instagram trick you. It isn't what it used to be. I just this big fake world. Let me tell you. Me see, the little you dead where they drop down on the field. Yeah? You look at you drop down on the field and play football and dead. And the media run with it. The biggest news story, condolence to the family again. And this genuine, you never see me really talk out on this. But you know what me say after that? Be an artist. John Noah put up emoji with tears. John Noah, you look at you, me feel it for you. The biggest from the biggest to the smallest. I capitalize off of the youth. Death because of branding. No, genuine. Food cartel dead. Me so no put up nothing. I want artists that, you know. Baby we ain't dead and nobody no know, you know. Sugar Mine that we do so much things for ghetto culture in a music dead. I mean, I see 98.5% of them show up at the man funeral, you know. So what kind of sign that? So you have feelings for some and just ignore some. You just have feelings for the one that the media run with. Recently now up at JC, the little youth will lose him life. How not gonna be fake about that? People are fake being real now, bro. People are fake being real.
That's true.
This thing just gets so fake. Put on a show. Let them think. And put on. And wear the right color. Look as if you're concerned. Wear blue. Blue is more happy. And be a manipulation. I decide reach. Stop pretend.
We have Michael Dawson, Vibes Cartel's business partner and co-author of Voice of the Jamaican Ghetto and CEO of House of Dancehall. And we also have Dr. R. Anthony Lewis, lecturer at the University of the West Indies.
Publisher of The Road to Zion.
Yeah, and culturals of slackness and slackness as culture. Right? Dr. Lewis said women who participate in mainstream dancehall trade in the commodities it sells, sex and sexuality, their bodies often scantily clad before the tableau displays, right, on which the discourse of slackness is written and performed. We want to say welcome to both of you. Michael Dawson, you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
And Dr. R. Anthony Lewis, welcome.
Hi, good evening. Just a correction, I'm from the University of Technology, Jamaica, not the University of West.
Okay.
University of Technology, Jamaica. We apologize for that.
We apologize for that. Welcome.
Right. So we in studio, we have, of course, Patrick Gaynor, a.k.a. Curly Locks, and our topic of discussion, we started lewd, rude, and crude, dancehall versus soca, the slackness bias.
Lewd, rude, and crude.
Right.
Lewd, rude,
very, very interesting topic.
You find it interesting, tell me why.
Well, because certainly at our culture forum at the University of Technology, Jamaica, from the School of Business and Social Sciences a few weeks ago, we actually looked at that theme and we tried to unpack some of the challenges. And one of my colleagues, Dr. Kai Barrett, she is a soca scholar. Just like you have the reggae scholar or the dancehall scholar, she's a soca scholar.
Yes.
And that was precisely the theme of her presentation, looking at how the concept of slackness in soca was portrayed versus the concept of slackness in dancehall, and a number of variables, how those shifted depending upon whether you were talking about soca or dancehall. The fact that race or ethnicity, color were important in distinguishing what was called slack in one state versus what was called slack in another state. The fact that people of a certain hue came predominantly to one kind of space. So dancehall, for instance, tends to be dominated by people of a darker hue, and people from downtown, in quotation marks, as opposed to people from uptown and from of a lighter hue participating in soca spaces, and how the society, in a sense, attempts to protect the people from the soca spaces, protect them from themselves and from the potential of being deemed black, as opposed to the people from the dancehall spaces who are revelers, in a sense, in what we want to call slackness. So that's why I'm saying that this is a kind of interesting kind of dynamic. But even above and beyond that, it's just how Jamaica has created a certain kind of mirage in relation to different things, that some people can do the exact same thing, but depending upon where they come from, they get seen
a free pass.
Yes?
I tell you, that is exactly what Sir Patrick Gaynor, a.k.a. Curly Locks, has been saying.
Michael Dawson, as the CEO of House of Dancehall, why do you think this is so, based on some of what was expressed by Dr. Lewis?
Well, let me start by, the term slackness. I think that's the core word or the moot word that we're using tonight. If someone asked me what's slackness in a context, I would say a young man being shot in a taxi and no one being held I would say young men dying on the soccer, football, basketball court, and there's not proper medical facilities for them. I would say Mario Dean dying in jail for a stick of weed. So slackness, I'm almost, I won't say amazed, but concerned that we use that subjective term to affix to some kind of music genre, which is merely for fun more than anything else. And then we tend to I feel the learned professor used mirage. I think that's one of the mirages that I think happened in Jamaica. We tend to punish dancehall or anything that emanates from the ghetto so much, and then we leave the issues that I think are even more important aside. So I feel like dancehall is almost used as a scapegoat for almost everything is an exaggeration. Probably 50% of the things is somehow get back to dancehall.
Mm-hmm.
And the paradox for me is that music is an art form, dancehall is an art form. So if art is a reflection of life, then you can't expect dancehall to do nothing but reflect the realities of what is happening in the space, which is Jamaica we're speaking in the context here. So I hope, I really want to hope, let me qualify this. I'm a Campionite, a proud one, but it's a very affluent school.
And not a Campionite here. Well, there's 2 Campionites here.
Oh, great. And
yes.
there I understood affluence and classism. And I almost want to think that there isn't classism in this dancehall versus soca, but I'm yet to find another explanation. Classism and racism, which are sometimes mixed in Jamaica, I can't find another explanation because, as Patrick said, or I said before, they're probably, as it goes bones, scanted is even worse than in the dancehall. Dancehall typically happens at night. This happens in the day, and in fact, the highlight of Carnival, I can remember, happens on a Sunday, which is supposed to be traditionally the most religious day in Jamaica. And it happens, New Kings, wherever you want in the thoroughfares. And worse, it happens all night into the morning, whereas the dances are being locked down at 12. And so we can't, explain away the duplicity, except classism. And I beg somebody to explain to me some other reason other than classism and pseudo-racism why this is here.
Dr. Lewis, do you want to take that question up?
Certainly. I would agree with Mr. Dawson. Maybe 80%. There is some kind of reflection of classism. And classism is one of the biggest problems we have. It is a question that we have failed to address. And until we begin to address that issue, all the other challenges we have in this society will not go. Because that's the root of a lot of the problems. So I agree that dancehall is given more than its fair share of burdens to bear in terms of what is wrong with the society. I do agree that we have determined, and this is part of how the society works, that the standards by which we judge people of a darker hue and by which we judge people from certain addresses are never the standards by which we judge people in other parts of the society. And that's to be understood as a truism. That's how Jamaica operates. People from certain addresses are able to do certain kinds of things and get away with those. People from other addresses are not able to get away with those. So that is the reality in relation to dancehall, soca, and so on. I do agree too that the slackness in terms of resources, the slackness in terms of what we expect of a society and its ability to take care of the needs of its people, of its citizens, those kinds of things we have not been paying attention. So yes, we have a schoolboy football program, and there are certain challenges with that in regard to the health care. We have not paid attention to those issues. We have the issue of the death of babies in the hospitals. We have not paid attention to those issues because those hospitals tend generally to serve the poor people. The boys who are playing in the football generally are poor children. And sport becomes one of the people through which the poor get access to the social value in this society. So again, we have not paid attention to the people who are from certain groups within the society. Now, that said, and having understood that that is a consequence for history, there's another piece. I do not believe that art is simply or should simply be a reflection of society. The artist has a responsibility in all societies, not only to reflect what is in the society, but to project. that artist also has a responsibility to take the society beyond itself, take it to look at new and different values. It is to call the society, in a sense, to conceptualize new pathways for itself. To the extent that dancehall does not allow itself, and the scholars of dancehall do not allow for that reflection, is a problem.
No, I know that, my brother.
Pardon?
I know really that. The media not encourage that side there, bro.
No. I would want to take away. I want to move away from that perspective. It's not about the media encouraging.
That in it, man. Foolishness sell papers and foolishness sell programs. The whole heap of youth do some conscious and positive things, boy. Where is a part of society too, but it's not being pushed or encouraged. It is not being pushed or encouraged in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. Where the media tend to take up is where insecure people go for. The foolishness, the little ignorance, and the little chatty, and the sus, and the bag of foolishness. So here we challenge the media for change too. Because tell you what, encouragement is everything at all in a earth. Encouragement. Everything where you see in a earth is encouraged.
Go ahead, Michael.
Go ahead, Michael.
Professor, one of the things that we talk about, with all due respect to the professor, and one of the things that, again, I have an issue with, is that several times academia casts these judgments or reflections on dancehall. And to be quite frank, I have not seen much of academia in the true dancehall. I've been through acid, Operation Ardent. I've been in the back of the truck after the lay down. I've been through dancehall, but I don't know that they've experienced that yet. With all respect, they become the experts on it. But there's another thing in academia that I think we have to be very clear to people. We tend to condemn or judge the women, especially because of their dress. However, we must understand that we're African descent, primarily in Jamaican. We're not Victorian. And if you're a true African, for example, I've had the benefit of working a lot in Africa, that in Swaziland, for example, women dress a certain way for their ceremonies, for their weddings. They're topless. There are, and I'm not being prejudiced here, but I think we agree some of the reluctant nature for black women probably superior to other people. So it's part of a clash where we are told that what is Victorian is proper and right, but what is African is not, because there's some clashes there. There's a further clash where when we have our good, as we say in Jamaica, good uptown girls going to pasa, then there becomes this uncomfortable union of where uptown girls get in the street, and so you have some social kind of things. So I think we ought to just lay it on the table and be fair if we're going to go academia. And the last thing in academia is economy-wise. Dancehall as an economic driver is huge, not just for the artists, not just for Patrick and other people in the business, but for the jerk chicken man, the taxi man, the tailor man, the beer provider. And so that we can't limit dancehall to this music phenomena. It's a powerful economic driver. It's a part of our history. It's a derivative of people who we are. And I'm at a loss of why I see that it's being fought almost into extinction. And I want to teach you after first. And that's why we have, House of Dance, because I think it needs to be preserved. Because in Croydon, London, they're saying they're going to block it. In Barbados, they're looking at it. And even the police commissioner said he wants to have a study about the impact. So it reminds me of the attack on Patois. And I continue to be mind-boggled of why we so much attack our homegrown genre that so much of our people love. It's not perfect.
Michael and Dr. Lewis and Presque, or music artists, and of course Curly Locks. Do you believe that part of the problem is we always have persons on the outside from universities and other institutions who always try to intellectualize what the dancehall culture is and continuously most times speak from uninformed positions and just try to psychoanalyze and assess type of behavioral patterns. Right. Do you think that this is...
No. I wouldn't take it that far.
Okay.
Tell us.
I mean, and I'm not being self-interested. I'm not a dancehall scholar. I'm dabbling in looking certain kinds of things in relation to language. That's my background. Now, there are a number of pieces to what we just went through. The first, and if we look back at what Mr. Dawson said, very important, all of those elements, and all of them are true about Jamaica. The fact is that Jamaica is known only for the things that come out of the black people, the poor people, the people who have been marginalized, the language, the music, the sport, all of those things that Jamaica has been put on the map for that are things that come out of a certain segment of the society. What then happens is that the people who are insecure at the top of the society, they begin to exploit it because they see it as an opportunity once foreigners start accepting it. So the Jamaican Creole is one such thing. They're very anxious about people who can't speak English well, and it's a bad reflection on us and on them and so on. Once other people start paying attention to the Jamaican Creole, you will lose that kind of insecurity about Jamaican Creole. The music, the same thing. The insecurity was lost once Maribos. You understand me? Now, looking at the exploitation, and I have to be very careful here because I'm from academia, but that very same exploitation comes from the academy. There are a number of us who use dancehall in the same way that the rich people do. That we see it as something that's coming out of the society that we can study, that we can look at, and we can use it to get advancement in our careers in the academy. Good at the personal level, but bad in my book to the extent that we have not contributed to looking at how that music can be developed in a way to benefit Jamaica and the people who are the purveyors of the music. And that for me has been one of the challenges. That when you keep the music simply as a reflection of the conditions of the people who are singing it, you, in a sense, condemn the music to a certain kind of death. And I heard the earlier discussion that the music has lost a certain kind of vibrancy. That's part of it. If you're studying the thing, you're studying the thing in such a way that you are trying to transform it and allowing it to become more than it is. We haven't really done that. We have simply said it's a reflection of society. It's a reflection of society, yes, but then when people are locking down access to markets, it is not hurting you as the academic who is writing your 1,000,001 papers about it and getting your promotion. It's hurting the people who depend on the music for their survival. It's hurting the people who are relying on the artists to bring back the foreign exchange as a part of an economy. So we have to look at that side of it. The next point is this. When we talk about access to spaces, look at a number of independent producers who have access to the access to the internet, access to YouTube and different platforms to put out their music. When the media, the music industry says, I want X, but you are singing Y, and you know that Y is what is going to help to push the music and the culture to another level, in another direction.
Yes.
There are opportunities now for you to take advantage of. So
Okay.
I do not buy the argument that it's simply
Dr.
because
Lewis,
you
we
want.
have a female press case. She wants to interject.
Interject,
Go ahead.
darling.
Dr. Lewis, why is it, and this is for the media as well, right? You
Yes.
have soca music, there's a song on the radio, every woman deserves a good body. But dancehall artists cannot say, but yeah, we can't say that. So
Right.
that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
All you're talking about is the money that people are coming back and who is gonna. No, that is not what we're trying to start out here with dancehall versus soca.
No,
We're talking
no, in fairness, I spoke about some of that earlier. I'm not just speaking about this, I'm talking about a number of things. But let me explain to you part of why there is a slight distinction between what happens with dancehall and what happens with soca in terms of the language. Dancehall, and I think we have to admit this, dancehall goes for language that is not very caught up in double entendre and so on, and image. It is very raw in many instances.
No, but that song that I just said to you is raw as well.
No,
it is raw.
Please.
Okay, sorry.
I don't interrupt. Huh? The word bud is an English word which means friend.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can have a double meaning from that word is part of what is being played on by the soca artist. And,
yes,
and
you also agreed, Dr. Lewis. You also have other lyrics that says turn it around and you push it back in, and
exactly.
There are quite a number of them. But
I cannot say that on RFM plates. They're not going to play.
No, we won't.
Precisely
exactly.
The point. What are you pushing back in? What are you turning around? Nothing.
Really,
nothing. There's nothing said there.
We need to paint a picture while we're on
right.
radio.
You have to use your mind.
Yeah, but what she said, there's nothing said there. But if a dancehall artist do the same exact thing, it will not be accepted. Them are gonna say it's suggestive. Them are gonna say it's suggestive.
Go ahead, Michael.
Michael, you don't want to live in.
Michael,
you don't want to live in Norfolk. And I'm trying to say it as best as I can because I can't speak the English that well.
One at a time, gentlemen. One at a time. But go ahead, Michael.
Professor Lewis, one of the things I would say is that I would first say that to answer Kashima, I'm glad actually that the I guess professors, the intellectuals, I don't mean that's about the professors, have these discussions because I, for one, and I know my publishing house colleague there, Patrick, would love to debate them on dancehall because I think this is a way we can get to learn. Because unlike Professor Lewis, a lot of academics just say, well, kill it, done it, ban it, whatever. He's not saying that, so I applaud him for that. But I think more of these discussions because we have to get to the paradoxes that happens with dancehall and with soca. For example, the politicians, they will use a dancehall song to win the election and to motivate the crowd, but the moment they get in, they start to create legislation to ban it some more. The athletes, I watch video clips before the athletes start to run, and they will sing these dancehall songs and get ready. But when they're being presented an award, we don't really want dancehall to be around. And the corporate Jamaica, I mean, to me, that's the biggest sort of hypocrisy that's there. By the way, we don't look for sponsors, so I really don't, whatever the couple is about me is fine. It's that you would use almost every ad that I see for the time I'm in Jamaica have some dancehall singing there and they have these dancehall sponsors and so forth. But at the same time, you're looking, as Patrick said, to neutralize it. So I think Jamaica has to figure out the paradox. You want the thing I don't want. I just want to use it like I use poor people.
No, and that's precisely.
And it goes back to that classism. So I love when the professors come forward because these are some truisms that I think
just to strengthen your point, a bit, Michael. I mean, we have seen repeatedly, like you've echoed, that oftentimes it's just a matter of convenience because here it is in one breath. You will bash dancehall for the slackness and you will bash them for lewd and crude lyrics. And in the same breath, you will laud somebody from dancehall and present them with an OD, someone who is renowned for slackness and that sort of thing. So there goes the confusion because...
Yes, the confusion. And also, one of the things that I find amazing, again, academia, the song that I know that caused one of the greatest bands, and I might be incorrect, but I know in 2009 there was a song called Ramping Shop, and a co-author wrote it with Spice, and the broadcast commission, it was banned in it, and there was this whole dialogue about the science of music and so forth. While that is happening, a friend of mine who's a professor in Connecticut is doing a thesis on how Ramping Shop shows the growth of Jamaican women in their sexuality, where now Jamaica is getting comfortable that women just may enjoy sex as much as men and showing equality in the bedroom. So whereas we are in Jamaica, ban it, kill it, don't power, hide it, they are learned people who are saying, "But this is a good thing." So it just seems to be this hypocrisy, classism, racism, and he's not here, but my reporter points out something about the economic part, where part of the reason why he thinks dancehall is so hated is because we get the people making the music, and it's something that the corporations have not been able to control. And if they can't control it, then they try and ban it. So I just feel like we need to have honest discussions about this, because and this kind of discussion, and I applaud Eric for doing this, because I think dancehall has been almost bastardized, brutalized, and we don't know how much we're hurting Jamaica by doing this, because it's one of Jamaica's biggest and best exports. And perhaps just don't invest in it. Don't have to promote it. Just leave it alone. It will self-regulate. Most artists I know have no problem with 18 or older attendance at a place. Most artists I know that there's some songs that
we're absolutely running out of time. Quickly, final thoughts, Dr. Lewis, Presque, and Curly Locks.
Well, I mean, generally, I agree with my classmate Michael. I'm just realizing that it's Michael Dawson. This is silly. We agree that there are all of the things that you've said: hypocrisy, classism, even I would say racism, in the way that we approach practically everything in this society. The problem, however, is that we shouldn't conflate. We have to be very careful that in identifying these problems, we also understand that within dancehall itself, no system doesn't exist that doesn't have flaws, and that there has to be, and I like the fact you spoke about the self-regulating component, there has to be some self-regulation that becomes a greater part of what happens in the industry. So the two have to be separated. How we see and exploit dancehall and condemn it, but also how dancehall reflects on itself and where it is going and what it is doing as a business. And I think once we begin that process and we allow that to happen, we will be advancing the discourse.
All right. Thank you so much there, Dr. Lewis. And also thank you, Michael Dawson,
thank you so much,
for sharing. Very spirited discussion. And I think a lot of things came to light tonight.
Can I be honest with you, though? I mean, it is great to have the perspectives of Michael Dawson and Dr. Lewis. But to be honest with you, what they said, pretty much, Curly Locks covered that.
No, he did. He did
and I mean,
initially.
cover it like a blanket.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Because and you see, it goes back to my initial point that sometimes you have these outsiders and these intellectuals who on the outside looking in, not necessarily living or understanding it, but just sitting by the sidelines and psychoanalyzing the thing. Good. Who better to talk to us about dancehall
than who's in it?
Someone who lives it night and day. Good. Like, this is what I do, rather than some shrink on the sidelines.
Good.
Exactly. Because all they were talking, I think it was Dr. Lewis. Mm-hmm. He was saying, "Oh, I don't really follow up dancehall." I'm like, "Oh,
right." So there it is. You're gonna put yourself in a position where you're gonna speak from an uninformed.
You have never visited the streets of dancehall. You have never got to Uptown Mondays. You don't know what Bossy Tuesdays look like. You don't know what Pin's Thursdays look like. So.
What has been your experience?
I don't know much of those either. But
what has been your experience, Presque? Because I mean, you're a media personality, ton artist, gone another thing.
But us doing everything so.
But what has been your experience? Have you experienced any scrutiny being a female dancehall entertainer?
No, I have not yet. Experience that, but
how long you start this now?
Listen, I've been performing around the island of Jamaica,
For how long?
And just Colombia, East Africa, we perform.
How long?
Professionally, because back in the days I used to do I did intros for Idonia. So, we used to do I think I did Chug It with him one time and Famous. So, but now in Jamaica, Charlie Black since come for the knockers, so I have to go all about and get some knockers from the man and send me.
How long?
So since 2014.
Let me ask you how long you give me one.
Say she was Jamaican exam. She not shade the right one.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm Jamaican.
Okay, anyway. but Curly, your final thoughts on the subject. 2014, she said it.
Something wrong with it here, sir?
We should have more time.
Yeah.
We wish we'd have more time because
I think so.
It's really a subject where you can't just touch and let go.
Yeah.
You know, it always feel like that empty feeling there.
You want closure.
Yeah,
You want a bit of closure
for
to
me
it.
personally,
Yeah.
me need for people to realize two things. Me need for the people in general, the consumers of the music, the nation where the music comes from, the society. Realize two things. One, them realize, say, oh, you know, you're being manipulated, you know all of this.
Yeah.
One, you realize, say, yes, them weaponize the media, them, you know, them use the police as security guard, them personal henchmen, whether them aware of it or not, to carry out them dirty deeds and them agenda. But through them look decent. Through you see them as church people through the jacket and rear, we don't really see the dirty deeds. More now that we're so in tune to the idea there, where do we go from here? You know where we go from here, so? Take responsibility for everything what you do for yourself. Don't stop say, a cartel, a mother them, a popcorn them, and tins of things them. I said this, and a man there said, listen, there is nobody that can make you do nothing. The choice in a you. Right now, I have a song with him. The whole of them are artists. None of them not bad.
But you do understand that people can influence.
Hold on, I do understand that. Me do understand that, you know. And this is why I tell the people them in the song, the whole of them are artists. This is where it come from. My personal reason for write the song was this. Me and my brother, they are Spanish town right across from the hospital. Me see a man argue. One of them I say, oh, fool, you can this and roll the boss, idiot. Next one I say, I want to your gully. And like them toss up on people and the taxi man there for hold a one there and fee man underpants nearly for draw 5. One bag of thing. One of them have a little daughter about 4-year-old. 4-year-old. She couldn't hold it than 4. So the war now escalate and one of them run off and gone. And next man say, I can't go and fold that man. We know him man, loud mouth. When I look, the brother come back with a pickaxe stick. So the next man now say, he ain't not take no liquor out and a pickaxe stick. Poop, took off, left him daughter. I said the man beat the little 4-year-old.
What?
Me say, about 8 we have to take the man off of the liquor pitney, you know. To how serious them take that something there. So my song is about saying, you know what happened? Look at what artists do from a positive standpoint. Them never choose the violence so you are toss up another man there do. Them choose music. No matter what it sound like and how influential it is, look at what they do at the end of the day. None of them no have that. This my song is not about saying they are punks and them can't defend themselves, you know.
Right.
My song is saying that their profession is music.
All right. Now we have to be fair. I want to press play, but I'd rather press K. Because she is here. And of course, she didn't get a chance because she actually got here a little not.
Well, all on her own. And I'm happy that Curly had said we have to take responsibility for our own actions. So in less than 3.
And the media no endorse it.
All right.
I tell you, it sound good is a good thing, I influence. So if you don't want good, encourage it.
This is a song you're talking about that was
yes, of course.
Give him a touch and then we're going to talk to Press K.
One verse.
None of them no bad. None of them
Yeah.
no bad. The whole of them artists. None of them no bad. Might come from the gully, but none of them no God. Who can treat when they say this? After none of them no mad. Them have a talent to do music and it feed them where them have a good youth. Them a good youth. I try to make a life. Don't make them lyrics tell yourself you take a life. And no badness make father will live a better life. No matter where him sing it up to you for make choice. And bad man are two different things. One got jail and one got sting. One of them a live it and one of them a sing. One a run from police, one a live like king.
What him gonna do you now?
All right. I tell you so. We're going to play that one in the entire
absolutely.
Press
K. From media personality to artist, how did that happen? Take us on that musical transition.
Wow. Well, as I told you earlier, it was not just because of Come for the Knockers with Charlie Black. It was something that was in me from long time. I was 8 years old. From I was 8 years old, and I got on Coney Park
the music,
stage.
not the knockers. I really hope.
Yeah. The knockers. All right,
let's put some of our ears right now.
Okay,
but it started from I was 8 years old. You know, I went to Coney Park, and you know they had a talent search thing, and I just went on the stage, and everybody was singing Mariah Carey song. There's an hero, and I wanted to sing that song, but then when I went on the stage, everybody was singing that song. So I said, "Me no want so like everybody. I'm different, you know." So I just go up there and sing this song where Snake Man, who is now Gotti Gotti, and singing Black Sweets No Mavado, they used to be around the back of Constant Spring Market, rehearsing, you know, them back in those days. So as a kid, you know, I used to listen to them. So when I went on stage, I don't know, the man said, what you gonna sing? Say, I'm gonna just end up singing the song. I never know, say, woman love man. So they say, where you get that little song there from, girl? You know what I mean? So I'll give them intro everything. And I say, let me see all of the man they will love them. Woman, let me see all of the man they will love them, man. Because I was like remembering what they were rehearsing. Right. So it's from that time I just win beer things over Coney Park. Then from there, so started off the Queens High School. Of course, you know, Princeville is near Queens High School. So I used to go there after school. Karima, who is Yellowman's daughter, was in my class. So she loved music. You know, I used to follow her to the studio because we actually live near to each other. So I used to go with them. So that's how...
You're going to have to cut it short. Like, just condense, get to the...
Yeah, anyway. So that's where I started out. Scatter Studio. That's where I meet up with Idonia, because he was at... what name at the time, Goofy Studio. So it's from there, listening to Idonia, just freestyling, but just love music. And, you know, I just used to hide. But then back in, I think it was 2013 when he did Tip Pointo, he was in the studio and he was, you know, freestyling. I do the song. And I'm like, yo, Zombie, we need to get that bad intro there. Like we Cartel and Avspan, that song there, that voice note there. I said, one bad girl just need to bad up that song there. So them say, Preske, you need to go do it. Like, you have it in you. Just go on and do it. So just go in at the booth and just say something. And it was a hit, you know. So from there, so now, move on. Now I say, okay, I'm hiding because I don't usually show me. I say, yo, do this thing. You have it in you. Liquid, I say, yo, do it. But still I hide because, you know, I work with... That time I was working for corporate Jamaica. Big up with Cinco, Coca-Cola. So I couldn't do the music how I wanted to do the music. So it was after now I said, I got this rhythm from Downtown Records. And I say, yo, that rhythm here kind of sound like I want somebody like Idonia. Have that same kind of girl vibe. So that's when I link up Bulby and I say, yo, I need to find Charlie Black. I didn't even know him. But I just hear him sing them. I'm just say him manage girl song Wicked. I'm just want to do a song with him. So exactly. Yeah. Okay. So we link up Bulby now. Bulby call up Crabber. Crabber say, yo, link up. We link up and, you know, went to UIM studio this Saturday. Told him about the song, the idea and everything. And he's like, yo, may I go to Trinidad? So when I come back, I love the idea. We can do it. Then we leave in the studio now. Him say, follow me up to K-Flow them studio. That's the producers of Come for the Knockers. Right? Didn't know I was gonna do a song with them. All me know I just go listen to the rhythm. And when I hear the rhythm, this is me sitting down in the studio and I say, yo, that rhythm here need me. But now if I ask Christ, the rhythm need me. And them my business card and say, email me the rhythm. The man them email me the rhythm, you know. The man them email Charlie the rhythm. See? So when they emailed Charlie the rhythm, Charlie was in Trinidad and Charlie called me from Trinidad and said, first game, but I'm bad rhythm the way love. So I say, yeah. I say, I feel like me if you do a song for it, you know. I say a lie. I say, yeah, man, when I come Jamaica with us, I got match it up. So him come Jamaica, we match it up and it's history, you know. We have been traveling, promoting the song. I mean, the song has brought me to Colombia, East Africa, Seychelles, all about. You know, Paris, all about. You know,
I want you to give me we don't have much time, but you're going to have to give me
You're requesting the knockers?
No.
You're requesting the knockers, darling?
I'm a shy fellow.
Which one do you want?
Well, my brain. But tell us a little bit about the personality, the radio personality, the transition, because I know you in media. Why the transition?
As I said, it was in me from 8 years old. And
yeah,
even
but you
when
could have still do the media thing.
I'm still doing the media thing.
So
I mean, I'm on RE TV right now.
I'm sure me here X media.
No, the thing is that Fame 95 right now, and I can't really talk about that because, you know, different stations, but we're rebranding.
Well,
so
you don't have nothing if you're not diary, so we'll just continue.
Right.
Exactly.
We don't want you to lose any power either.
And we don't even want to drop the jingle because you know how we stay dry and bare feet.
But now I'm promoting my new single, Brought That Good.
That's what I want to hear.
Crazy. I have to big up Colombia, them are going bad. I have to big up the man them in the street, the DJ them in the street too. They have it, CT in the background. You understand? So it's on iTunes right now. Big up Dana Reese, the producer of it. Of course, K-Flow, big up on the set.
Let's hear the single right now.
Anything me get me can broke that good. Anything me get me can broke that good. Man can't say me never broke that good. Man can't say me never broke that good. Because your face and wind up so make the boy feel no you your body good. Pick up your face and wind up so. Make the boy talk, oh your body good, girl. It's my own.
Murder.
So
Stop dance.
with a few minutes remaining, Curly Presque, where can people see you perform?
A whole heap of place, you know. Right now, Antigua the 24th of December, Florida the 2nd. So a whole heap of place, you know. Just, you know, at Twin of Twins, Curly Locks, Instagram, Facebook. You don't know Twin of Twins, 2 Locks.
What about your fans who want to see you in Jamaica?
I don't, as I say, I don't have the whole schedule. I have too much things for me to kind of go into it. Because I'm going to go in some wrong date and some whole heap of something.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the man say, oh, give me that date.
Curly, just keep doing what you're doing. When the poetry is ready, you send it to us. We're yet to get a copy of the book. I can't believe you actually came here tonight empty-handed.
You don't know, you go 2 lakhs, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, you're there. You know what I mean? Right now, just bless up yourself, my brother. You understand? Big up my co-promoter, our co-promoter, CG, you know, CG Promotions. 25th of November, we had to send best of the best down at St. Elizabeth and Murder. And you know, Irie, I go carry the package and deal with it wicked and think. And you don't know if I'm Irie and that's it. A murder and a big something. You don't know, big up trainer Winston in a place took a while ago. We a driver come down and me ask him, what do people have to expend? When you take that big long toll road there. So a whole heap of topic in Jamaica does need to talk about. Them need to care for the poor a little bit more. Don't watch the negativity within it. I better we just encourage the goodness among the poor. And then, you see, those who negative, I go follow. Because they don't have no choice.
So, Curly, as a social activist, some of these issues, and like you just mentioned that one issue just on your way to Ocho-Reyes, how do you plan to address these issues, not only through music, I hope?
Well, I mean, you don't know. Twin of Twins, you know, we've been, you know, lobbying, you know, we've been in dialogue with even the Prime Minister. A lot of people might not know that, you know, we've been seeking audience. And we've been dialogue with, you know, whole heap of people who are movers and shakers when it comes to certain things, you know, if we really have that discussion, if we really have that topic, that clear mind topic there, where we not have to have no ethnocentricity, everything just move out of the middle and we deal with it, because we have to coexist. We are Jamaican. You understand? We can't have 2 Jamaica. We have to just rebuild 1 Jamaica. 2 Jamaica, a joke thing. We just need 1 Jamaica where everybody just understand them, you know, them boundaries, because everybody not going to be the same.
Yes, Presque, where can we see you perform?
Well, you know, what happened is Chili's calling. Crowbar just told me before the guys went off to Europe. Charlie's in Europe right now, but I have to be in Jamaica because I'm going on the Welcome to Jamrock cruise next week. So it's going to be a lot of promotion for me. You know what I mean? So, you know, every part of the walks of life going to be on the cruise.
And keep doing it. You know, sometimes one of the hardest things is that when you're actually in something and like Curly actually echoed before you came in that, you know, a lot of people sell out, and you mentioned that you were working with corporate Jamaica, you were doing other things, but you felt that thing inside of you that you needed to
stay real,
follow your dream and pursue your thing.
And I encourage anybody right now who want to live out in a dream, don't make nobody tell them say
true,
can't be a reality.
You understand? I also have a new single coming out with a legend. So big up Andrew Blacks. I can't say who is it yet. I can't say who. It's a surprise.
Should do song with
All
Berries.
right, we're all right.
Thank you so much for coming through, Curly. It's always a pleasure.
Volume 11.
When
next 3 weeks.
Oh, be up trying some outfits and I Tasha for my hair. You know, my stylist. You know, they hook me up. And follow me at PressKPR at PRESSKAY. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Always
Curly
a pleasure.
Bless up.
Yeah. And, you know, we're happy that Curly is also a social activist. We can invite him for more discussion topics.
Yes. Thanks to Dr. Lewis and Michael Dawson. They were our guests earlier.
Absolutely. And also Bunji Garland. We're not sure what happened with the connection, but
I think he went to a party somewhere.
You know what? I just think the whole place fog up.
The mash up the place. Boy, big up yourself.
Big up our producer Gavin Grant. Big up to DJ Brian. Big up to Nicholas Francis and Mark Hudson.
Thanks.
I'm Kishima Francis.
And I'm DJ Bones. Join us next week for another exciting edition of The Buds. Muta Buruka is up next with the cutting edge.
Yes.
Yes, hey, Muta, start the program.
Yes, I am. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Enough things are going on in Jamaica. Holy party. Coming through.
They cut you off out at the edge. Cut you.
Red tag loan sale with rates as low as 8.5% per annum. And